What's up, everybody? It's your boy Crack. We're back for Season 2 of Crack's Commute Cassette Review. And to start things off with this season, I'm going to be talking about a band that, when I say their name, you're probably going to say to yourself, I've never heard of them. But chances are you have been exposed to their music at some point or another. And that band is Tangerine Dream. And before I talk too much about them, I'm going to tell you a little story about how I was introduced to them, because it's kind of weird. In the late 90s, when I was listening pretty much exclusively to Norwegian black metal, like Burzum and Dark Throne, and most of all, my favorite band at that time, Mayhem, I was listening to the Death Crush CD, which I have right here for reference. The Death Crush EP by Mayhem. Great record. One of my favorite Mayhem recordings. But the intro to this is actually a piece of music that was written by one of the members of Tangerine Dream. And when I first heard this, I thought that the introduction sounded nothing like Mayhem. So I did some investigating, some digging around, and that led me to Tangerine Dream. And ever since then, I've been a huge fan. Their music was like nothing I had ever heard. Some people describe it as ambient. Some people describe it as experimental. They've even dabbled in electronica, new age, even though that's a term I've read in interviews that they despise. But they're kind of all over the place. But the one thing that is constant is their love of experimentation and the use of synthesizers. And the cassette I'm going to talk about today is Tangerine Dream's Poland. And this is actually a live recording from, I believe, 1982, but this was released in 83. I think I've got that right. I'm wrong. Recorded in December of 1983, but released in 1984. And despite this being a live recording, you'd probably never know it unless you knew it, because it is fantastic quality. I'm talking top notch here. And Tangerine Dream's music, especially during this era, was... It sounds like it's, belongs in a movie or a science fiction movie, something along those lines, which is probably why they've done so many soundtracks. So, Tangerine Dream has done over 100 recordings, both live and in studio. Not to mention the 60-plus soundtracks that they've done for movies and even video games. Most recently, Grand Theft Auto 5. So if you've played Grand Theft Auto 5, you've experienced the music of Tangerine Dream. And, when you have that vast of a catalog, the music is really, really all over the place. And much like Picasso, how he had his blue period and this period and that period, Tangerine Dream is spoken of in kind of the same way. They have, their blue period, their pink period, their early period. And that kind of, pigeonholes how certain albums sound. I really don't like categorizing them like that, because I think that even though, some of those, there's truth in some of those categorizations and stereotypes of those releases, I think they always push the boundaries. That's how they started, by pushing musical boundaries. They're a German band, which, I don't know, is kind of important because of the whole krautrock thing that was going on in Germany in the 70s, early 70s. But they're one of the first bands to really take advantage of and utilize the synthesizer in a way that was really interesting. And if you ever go on YouTube, which I suggest you do, and look up some live footage, you're going to see three guys surrounded in huge boxes of synthesizers and keyboards, because that's the type of equipment they use. They're not like a drummer, a bass player, a guitar player, and a singer. They are synthesizers, Moogs, maybe a drum machine, maybe some keyboards. That's about it. So very, very different, way ahead of their time, and definitely, some innovators. Really cool band. And this is a band I would suggest anybody just go out and check out, Tangerine Dream. And like I said, you've probably already heard it. This tape, like I said, it's live. It's only 4 tracks. It clocks in at around 80 minutes. And this was a gift from a friend. And when I was looking at this, I thought it was really cool because I was noticing just your standard tape here. This is a first pressing by Jive. I think this is the only time this was released on cassette, to my knowledge. But when I was looking at this, it says Volume 1, and it says Poland and Tangent on, side 1 and side 2. And I was like, that's weird because there's 4 songs on this thing. And when I opened it up, actually, this other J card fell out as well, which is weird because on this it says Volume 2 and then side 3 Barbicane and side 4 Horizon. I have no idea why this happened, because the way I got this J card was packaged in here like it was 1. So this suggests to me that at one time this was going to be a double cassette release. And I don't know if it was because of cost or what. That idea got scrapped because all the music is contained on 1 cassette. As you can see, side 1 here has Poland and Tangent, and then side 2 has Barbicane and Horizon, as opposed to what the J cards would have you believe with side 3 and 4 is indicated here. This is side 2, and this is side 1. So that, I think, is really interesting, an oddity I've never come across in a cassette before. One of the reasons I was excited to talk about this tape, because it's just something I've never seen. And instead of keeping this J card tucked away inside the other one, I do like to keep this as like 2 cassettes, the way it was originally intended, despite it all being on 1. So even though that has nothing to do with the music, I do find that very interesting. On a scale of, should I skip it? Should I borrow my friends? Should I steal it off the internet? Or should I go buy this? I would say that if you're into ambient music, Poland's Tangerine Dream is unbeatable. And I would say this is definitely, you download this off the internet, do whatever you got to do to hear it. I might not say go out and buy it unless you're a huge fan, but if you are a huge fan, this is definitely worth owning. So definitely get out there, check out some Tangerine Dream. Look up some of those old movies you like that you never knew who did the score, because there's a good chance maybe Tangerine Dream did it. But that's it for me, guys. Look forward to more cassette reviews coming up. I'm going to try and do 1 or 2 a month, get them out there. And yeah, so crack out.